The Sweeper is an absolute beast in Helldivers 2. It is high damage, a tight spread, and overall great quality of life features that blow every other shotgun out of the water. Hi, my name is Red Monster Thing, but you can call me Red. And today, I wanted to explain why the Sweeper is the best shotgun in Helldivers 2. Now, there are a ton of reasons why this weapon is better than almost every other shotgun in Helldivers 2. But firstly, in order to acquire the Sweeper, you have to purchase it in the Superstore for 400 super credits, on the Entrenched Division page. Although, thanks to a recent change, all items in the Superstore are now permanent additions, meaning that all FOMO has been completely removed. I'm actually really happy about this change, since now I know you guys won't have to wait for things like the Sweeper or Double Freedom to enter rotation. But the 400 super credit cost may be a deal breaker for some of you out there. Well, yes, you could just farm super credits or mow a lawn for $5. It's still a pretty steep price, all things considered. So, is it worth it? To answer that question, let's take a look at its stats. The Sweeper has 504 standard damage and 132 durable damage. It also has a bayonet with 165 standard damage and 83 durable damage. This makes it easily one of the highest damaging shotguns we have, only beaten by the Double Freedom and the Halo M90A shotgun. But what makes this weapon more desirable than these other shotguns isn't its damage, it's actually its ammo. Speaking of, it has 70 spare shells, which means not only does this weapon have more ammo than the M90A, but also the Cookout, Punisher, Slugger, and the Halt. What's really crazy here is that this weapon carries 7 rounds in the chamber at a time, which seems to be the only thing that feels like it's semi-balancing this weapon from completely overtaking all of these other options. Except, no actually, the Sweeper's just better than all of these options. Why take the Cookout or Punisher when this weapon exists? While you could make an argument that the Sweeper shotgun doesn't have stagger, stagger isn't really a problem when you have a weapon that not only deals more damage, but also has higher armor pen. And it having more ammo than the Cookout or Punisher is just the cherry on top. Its handling also isn't bad either. It has 65 ergonomics, which is extremely snappy. Actually, 65 ergonomics is about the same as every other shotgun, which means despite the fact that this weapon is gigantic looking, it is extremely easy to change targets, but you can't snipe out enemies from longer distances. So after taking a look at its stats, yeah, it's not a question that this weapon is mostly superior to all other shotguns. While it doesn't have the stagger of the light pen pump action shotguns, nor the precision of the Slugger, it has general dominance over the battlefield where most other options struggle. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please consider leaving a like. And if you're on mobile, hype the video. And if you enjoy my content, be sure to subscribe, because once we hit 100k subscribers, I'll tell you what my favorite color is. Now things get really interesting when we bring up weapon attachments, because the Sweeper shotgun has a lot of desirable attachments that even other shotguns don't have. Starting with its optics, the Sweeper has more scope options than pretty much every other shotgun. It has 7 different optics to choose from, including an iron sight that is already unlocked as soon as you buy it, which for a shotgun, you all know is the best scope. The crazy thing is that most other shotguns have 5 options to choose from, but what is even more crazy is that the Sweeper has a 4x scope, while the Slugger does not. Like, the point of the Slugger is precision and range. How does this even make sense? But as if the Sweeper couldn't be more powerful, it gets the option to add chokes to it. While sure, chokes don't change your damage output, you get a much tighter spread, which makes it easier to hit all your pellets on a single weak spot. These chokes completely transform your gameplay on factions like the bot front, where precision is needed, but also makes hitting Overseer heads a breeze. I'm not kidding, it really makes this game feel that much more consistent. Well now, I think I have some concerns here. Obviously, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I should address the elephant in the room. Is the Sweeper overpowered? To that, I'm actually going to say no. because I would prefer if other shotguns got buffed to feel more like the sweeper, or at least in their own ways to feel distinct. Obviously, if every gun in the game starts to feel the same, we're going to have a big problem. But with the sweeper, part of the fun is that it's able to reach important breakpoints that most other weapons don't reach. The only other weapon that is similar, that is a shotgun, is the M90A. Now, the M90A is controversial, but it is also one of the more powerful shotguns we have. It's just restricted by its ammo, which the sweeper is nowhere near as restricted. And the reason why I bring up the M90A is that both the sweeper and the M90A are able to destroy certain enemy types in one shot. For example, the Devastator midsection. Most weapons can't one-shot this. Of course, if you're close enough, you can do it with weapons like the Punisher 2, but these two shotguns can do it easier than most. The only thing that the M90A can do that the sweeper can't is stagger. Otherwise, in every other stat, the sweeper is just better than its competition. Speaking of Devastators, on the bot front, the sweeper is surprisingly a beast. While as someone who has used both the Blitzer and the Breaker Spray and Pray against the bots, I am personally not surprised that the sweeper performs well. It one-shots most chaff, and if you're in close quarters, this thing absolutely deletes Devastators and Berserkers. And funnily enough, without the stagger, it is actually easier to hit weak spots like the Devastator. Much like if you were using the Breaker Spray and Pray. It's extremely effective at destroying rocket striders also, just aim for the rockets or the crotch. You can also target hulks in their vents, and it doesn't take long to kill them either. The only thing on this front I do not recommend using on this is gunships and factory striders. For the squids, it's pretty good all things considered. While it is limited a lot more than when you use it against the bots, it still has a niche that makes it desirable. If you're close enough, it can one-shot Overseers to the head, and it's actually extremely good against the Appropriator's sub-faction. But of course, it still struggles against flesh mobs and is a bit overkill for Voteless. Well, yes, you will one-shot most Voteless. Usually there are more than 7 Voteless at a time, so you will need to reload the sweeper a lot. But thankfully, because of the bayonet, that can sustain you on the squid front. On the bugs, it's pretty solid. It's extremely good against hunters, and it's not bad against bile spears. Overall, while its chaff clear is limited, its medium armor pen ensures that you aren't very punished when you're squaring up with a hive guard. The only places where you will struggle is against shriekers, and if there are more than 7 bugs on your screen. Overall, the sweeper is an extremely well-designed weapon for Helldivers 2, and it's one of the more fun options we have. But it is also literally the best shotgun we have. And I hope, for balance's sake, that other shotguns can feel relevant again. Because while I love most weapons in the game, the shotgun category is a bit limited. The only shotgun I feel like is both powerful and fun, like the sweeper, is actually the Bushwhacker. But, spoiler alert, you'll be hearing plenty about the Bushwhacker from me very, very soon. Anyways, that's all I have to say on the sweeper shotgun. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe. It helps a ton, and it means a lot.